For all your t-shirt needs, check out TeePublic's Killer Selection. Follow the link in the description. Hey, what's up, people? Piz Al here, and today I want to talk to you guys about my incredible experience touring Camp Novi Bosco, which is the shooting location of the very first Friday the 13th film. I've also got a very, very special giveaway involving some water from Camp Crystal Lake, signed by Adrian King Alice from the original Friday the 13th. But we'll have to wait to the end of the video for all of those details on how you can enter to win this very unique prize. But yeah, in case you guys don't know, Camp Novi Bosco, the camp in New Jersey where the original Friday the 13th film was shot, they've been doing these sporadic tours of the camp. Basically as a way to raise funds for the camp and to help preserve the legacy of Friday the 13th and keep that location looking as close to the way it looked in the film as possible. And in the past, they've done tours, just very, very small tours. And what they've done with the tickets, basically, it's first come, first serve. They say tickets are going on sale on such and such a day at such and such a time. And because they only took a very limited number of people, those tickets sold out very, very quickly. But I always kept it in the back of my mind to sort of keep an eye out for one of these tours and try and, you know, be one of the lucky ones to purchase a ticket to take the tour, because you guys know how much Friday the 13th means to me. It's a movie I've seen 1,000,001 times. It gave birth to a series that just means so, so much to me. And this time around with the tour, Camp Novi Bosco did a very, very smart thing, in my opinion. Instead of a first come, first served basis with the tickets, they did sort of a lottery system. You went to their website, you put in your information, they randomly drew your name, and then they gave you the opportunity to purchase tickets. So I went to the website, gave them all of my information, crossed my fingers, and just waited. About a week or so later, I saw people posting in one of the Friday the 13th groups that I'm a member of on Facebook saying, hey, I got an email from Camp Novi Bosco. I'm going on the tour. I'm so happy, yada, yada, yada. Alas, I did not get an email. And I was like, shucks. Well, there's always a next time. And then a day or two later, I got an email. I was selected as an alternate. Apparently, whoever was selected, they didn't realize that it wasn't a free tour, that it cost money. I'm not sure, but they basically gave up their spot. They did another drawing, and I was chosen. And I immediately got up from my desk, closed my office door, and did a happy dance. I was elated. To say the very least. I was on cloud nine, and I was incredibly stoked and excited. I could barely contain it. Those days leading up to actually going up to New Jersey and taking the tour. But April 13th came. I had driven up to New Jersey the prior day, and I'm driving into the camp. And we all meet in the dining area, which is actually where the film, the opening sequence in the film with Claudette and Barry playing the guitar, and they sneak off together and die, where that sequence was shot. There were a lot of people. There were a lot more people than I had expected. I would say at least. What they did was they split it up. There was a morning tour from 9 to 1. That was my tour, or from 9 to... Yes, I believe it was from 9 to 1, and then an afternoon tour. And I was part of the morning tour, and I would say there was at least 120 to 150, maybe even more people there for that morning tour. But we all gathered together in the dining hall. We mingled. We kind of gathered into groups. Some people from Camp Nabi Bosco came out and talked about the film and talked about the tour and thanked us. And then Adrienne King came out. Alice from the first film in her yellow raincoat, and she's carrying a lantern, and she's, Bill, where's Bill? And she talked to us very briefly, and then we sort of separated. We had a tour guide, and the tour guide led us. We separated into groups of about, I was in a group of about, 12 to 15 people. And the very first place we went was the lake. And, wow, just standing there staring at Crystal Lake was pretty profound. That was a profound moment. Like, this is where it all began. This is where Jason drowned. There's the beach where, Alice and Mrs. Voorhees beat the crap out of each other, and where Mrs. Voorhees lost her head. And, out there in the lake, they actually had put a canoe out in the middle of the lake. Stationed a canoe out there, just like at the end of the film when little Jason jumps out and grabs Alice. But yeah, just standing there in front of that lake. I mean, I can imagine just my jaw on the floor. Just wow. From there, we went to the location where they shot the shower sequence. We went to the archery range. We went to the main cabin. We went to the cabin where Kevin Bacon died. We went all over the camp. We were all over the place. We even went into a cabin with Adrienne King, and we got to meet Adrienne King and have her sign stuff, like these little things. And the tour ended at the lake. And I just remember standing there on the beach of the lake, just looking out at the lake, and like realizing that it was going to be very, very difficult to leave this place. I remember even saying something to my girlfriend, like, let's hide and let's kind of blend in with the next tour. And I don't want to leave. Let's just stay. And, it was one of those, like, once in a lifetime, scratch this off my bucket list kind of moments. It was absolutely phenomenal. Being there, walking around in the same woods that they filmed Friday the 13th in some of the same cabins that they filmed Friday the 13th in, looking at the lake where, Jason drowned, being on the beach where the big, end scene took place. It was really an awesome moment. It was so awesome that a couple of days before I left to go to Camp Nabi Bosco, I came down with a horrible sinus infection, and I'm still kind of fighting it a little bit. And that morning of Friday the 13th, I felt awful. I felt awful. But once I got into the camp, the adrenaline, I can't put my finger on. All I felt was elation the entire time. It was such a fantastic moment. The staff of Camp Nabi Bosco could not have been better. They were all fantastic. Our tour guide was great. And we met the head of Camp Nabi Bosco, the camp leader. I'm not sure what his title would be, but hearing him talk, you really got an understanding that the camp was very special to him and close to his heart, but also the film was very special to him and close to his heart. And the money that they raise from these tours and from the souvenirs, it goes toward the camp, keeping the camp alive, but also preserving those locations from Friday the 13th and keeping them alive. And all of those locations, with the exception, the one cabin in the film where Alice is nailing the gutter on, that one is gone. That one just, it could not withstand the test of time. But all of those other cabins, they have, because they've undergone some form of restoration that has been funded by basically money from the fans. We are helping to preserve the shooting location of Friday the 13th. We're helping to preserve those locations and helping to preserve just the camp overall. And I'm all for that. I'll put a link to the Camp Tours website in the description. Keep a close eye on them. They're definitely going to be doing more of these tours. This was the biggest tour they had done up to this point. I heard someone say that there were over 20,000 people who entered, and judging by if there were 120 to 150 people in my morning, the tour that I was a part of in the morning, I'm guessing there was the same number on the afternoon tour. Then there was a Saturday the 14th morning tour and a Saturday the 14th afternoon tour. And then there were some people who won a VIP experience where they got to spend the night at the camp. So I'm guessing there were anywhere in the neighborhood of 500 to 600 people there. But they're going to do these more often, I assure you. And they're going to make them bigger and bigger. And they'll probably have more celebrity guests there in the future. This was the first tour that they did with like a celebrity guest. And Adrienne King, if you've never met Adrienne King, this was my second time meeting her. Just a fantastic lady, sweet lady, just excellent to meet. Very, very fan friendly. But I just had such a phenomenal time there. Blairstown is a beautiful, beautiful area. We went to Main Street where a lot of the film was shot. I shot footage of that. I shot footage of the camp. All that will be at the end of the video. We went to Hope. We actually stayed in Hope, New Jersey, which is another just absolutely beautiful area. Both Hope and Blairstown, just beautiful, beautiful areas. And Hope is where the graveyard is that's featured in the film. I shot some footage of that too. We also ate at the Blairstown Diner, which is in the movie. Great little diner, had breakfast there. It was a delicious breakfast. Like I said, just such a profound, amazing moment. And I'm so happy. I'm so lucky to have been able to, been one of the 500 or 600 out of 20 something thousand that was selected to take the tour. Again, my hat's off to all of the staff at Camp Nubby Bosco. You guys did a fantastic job with the tour. You guys were awesome. I love what you're doing in keeping both the camp alive and preserving the legacy of Friday the 13th. I absolutely support that 100%. Guys, follow the link in the description. Check out their gift shop. They've got a lot of cool stuff in the gift shop, and all that money, again, goes toward keeping the camp alive and keeping, the shooting location of Friday the 13th alive. I shot a ton of footage at the camp. I shot a ton of footage in Blairstown and in Hope. So I'll put all that footage together here and show you guys. And again, stick around till the end of the video, and I will tell you guys how you can enter to win 2 bottles of water directly from Camp Crystal Lake, signed, both of them signed by Adrienne King Alice from Friday the 13th.
Bruce left here and they had a lot of fun, but Sean kept us, the actors, I guess it was SAG or something. We were at a motel down the road that I don't think exists anymore. And I got up this morning and I looked and the canoe was out there on the lake. And it was so surreal. It was just, nothing has changed. And the Boy Scout leaders are so great. Have you met them? I mean, they're so fabulous. They're all volunteers and they're just doing this to keep our camp Crystal Lake, in better and perfect condition. And I'm so excited to be part of this, and thank you all for coming and supporting and just making all of our little dreams and nightmares come true. So I'm gonna be like enjoying this the same way you all are, because I'm ready to check out the camp and tour, and it's going to be exciting, just as exciting for me as it is for you, and I can't wait to meet each and every one of you. So welcome, and let's have a bloody blast. And thank you to Mark, Paul, and Eric, and all the great kind and really nice guy. So be nice, don't do anything silly. Where do I go now?
You'll get the chance to meet her at one of the stations in just a few minutes.
All right, guys, and if you want to enter to win one of 2 bottles of genuine water from Camp Nubby Bosco, aka Camp Crystal Lake, both bottles signed by Adrian King, Alice, from the first film. It's very simple. A lot of you guys are already entered and you don't even know it. 1, you have to be a subscriber to my YouTube channel. That's good for 1 entry. Leave a comment down in the comment section below. That is good for an entry. Follow me on Facebook. That's good for an entry. Follow me on Twitter. That's good for an entry. Follow me on Instagram. That is good for 1 entry. Subscribe to my website. Follow the link in the description. That is also good for 1 entry. And all of my Patreons, if you are a Patreon, a current Patreon, you have 5 additional entries to win one of these 2 bottles of lake water from Camp Crystal Lake, aka Camp Nubby Bosco, signed by Adrian King. And if you become a patron, you will get 5 additional entries as well. So that should give everybody a number of entries in order to win one of these 2 bottles of lake water from Camp Crystal Lake, signed by Adrian King. So if you were one of the 20-something thousand that did not get selected to go, you can still possibly take a little bit of Camp Crystal Lake here with you. A very special part of Camp Crystal Lake with you because they're signed by Adrian King, Alice, from the original film. And but yeah, so subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment down in the comment section below. Follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Subscribe to my website. Follow the link in the description. There's more details over on my website. Follow that link. And yeah, so if you guys like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the $1 a month club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to my current patrons: Kevin Smythe, Orc145626, B-Movie Mike, Turi Delamore, Joseph Charlesworth, Grindhouse Grotto, Jeremiah Lambert, Farron Sutton, Craig Farrand, Robert Sobel, Derek Jana, Johnny Yeager, Richard Mead, Lori Holt, and Demon Waffles. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.